Welcome to Car Comparos. Today we'll be comparing the Maruti Suzuki Ignis versus the Ford Figo. Pricing and features. Ignis Zeta diesel manual retails for 7.3 lakh rupees on road tele, which is identical to the Figo's Trend variant. Ignis Zeta has plenty of extra features over the Figo Trend, like parking sensors, fog lamps, push button start and smart key, electrically folding mirrors, alloy wheels, rear wash wipe defogger, and height adjustable driver's seat. The Figo Trend only has two extra features over the Ignis Zeta, which are the mobile phone docking station and auto up anti-pinch driver's window. Performance and drivability. The petrol Ignis and the Figo 1.2 seem to be evenly matched on paper in terms of their engine output, but the Figo is over 200 kilograms heavier than the Ignis. This makes it noticeably slower than the Ignis, be it in terms of drivability around town or in terms of its performance on the open roads. What makes it worse is that it falls short on the refinement front too, compared to the creamy smooth nature of the Ignis's K12 engine. When it comes to the automatics, Ignis's AMT transmission is no match to the Ford's dual clutch unit in terms of smoothness and responsiveness. Ford has also opted for a bigger 1500cc mill for the automatic, giving it a slight edge over the Ignis in terms of pace. When it comes to diesels, the Ignis stands no chance against the Figo. The Figo has better drivability thanks to lesser turbo lag than the Ignis, as well as much better performance on the open roads. Figo's 1500cc mill makes 25 genuine horses more than the 1250cc Fiat sourced multijet mill of the Ignis. Ignis claws back some lost ground with slightly better noise suppression than the Ford. Fuel efficiency. The Ignis petrol manual as well as automatic have an ARAI certified mileage of 20.9 kmpl, which is 2.7 kmpl more than the Figo manual and 3.9 kmpl more than the Figo automatic. However, in our back-to-back tests, the Ignis was almost 3 kmpl more efficient than the manual Figo and 4 kmpl more than the automatic. The Ignis diesel has a certified fuel efficiency of 26.8 kmpl, which is 1 kmpl more than the Figo. In our real-world tests, the Ignis actually turned out to be 1 kmpl more efficient than the Figo as well. Space and comfort. Both cars have more or less similar dimensions, but Suzuki has managed the space inside the Ignis's cabin much better than Ford has in the Figo. Ignis is a good 70 mm taller than the Figo. This has allowed the engineers to configure a higher hip point, which means that the passengers are seated higher up from the floor of the car than they are in the Figo. So even though the distance between the front and rear seats is similar, passengers in the Ignis have more usable space left over to move their legs. Also, there's better under-thigh support in the Ignis and ingress-egress is also easier. Both cars have fairly utilitarian cabins, Ignis being the one with better fit finish but a quirky design, and Figo being a bit outdated and boring. Handling and ride quality. Figo is a pure driver's delight when it comes to dynamics. It may not handle as well as the old Figo, but still remains one of the best handling cars on the market. It corners flat with excellent mechanical grip and has one of the most well-tuned electric power steerings on the market. The Ignis is not bad either. It is also quite agile and grippy around the bends, just that it is not as much fun as the Figo. And yet, the Ignis is not as pliant over the bumps as the Figo either. Ignis does ride like a car from a segment above, with decent bump absorption at all speeds, but the Figo feels more supple and composed than the Ignis. Both cars have decent ground clearance and tire size for the broken stretches of tarmac that we call as roads in this country. Reliability and after-sales service. On one hand, we have Maruti Suzuki, which has the longest track record of over 30 years for making reliable vehicles in our country, while on the other hand, we have Ford, who used to be notorious for its unreliable escorts and icons. Ford has been slowly improving its rep with every new launch, but still it is nowhere even close to the sheer product reliability and affordable, fastidious and omnipresent service support of Maruti. Resale and cost of ownership. Today, 2011 model year Figo petrols sell for 2.5 lakh rupees, while diesels sell for 3.2 lakh rupees in the used car market. The current Figo is even less popular than the old one and will probably sell for even lesser price 5 to 7 years down the line. Ignis, on the other hand, is bound to follow the Swift and fetch at least 4 lakh rupees after similar usage. Overall, the Figo petrol works out to be 1.7 lakh rupees more expensive than the corresponding Ignis in terms of overall ownership costs. The Figo 80 will be over 3.5 lakh rupees dearer than the Ignis Delta 80 petrol. Even the Figo diesel works out to be 1 lakh rupees heavier on the pocket than the equivalent Ignis. Which brings us to the verdict. Overall, the Ignis is undeniably better value for money than the Figo, thanks to lower fuel cost, higher resale value, and more features. It is also a more practical vehicle than the Figo, thanks to better ergonomics and a hassle-free ownership experience. Only thing where it falls short of the Figo is on dynamics. Amongst the petrol manuals, it is no contest at all, as the Ignis is also quicker, more drivable, and more refined than the Figo. When it comes to the automatics, the Figo with its 1500cc engine and dual clutch transmission is technically a superior vehicle, but it is way too expensive than the automatic Ignises, both petrol as well as diesel, in the long run. However, when it comes to diesel manuals, the Figo is a real charmer, with Punto Abarth and Polo GT rivaling levels of performance and dynamics to match it. It remains one of our most recommended vehicles in the 6 to 6.5 lakh rupee range. But as a personal vehicle for family use, we have to hand it over to the Ignis as the clear winner of this test.